Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I just want to say I am so sorry I have been MIA. This whole COVID situation, quarantine, homeschooling has thrown your girl for a loop, but I am back with a video for you today. And I wanted to just hop on and do a from nothing to a full face of makeup. So we are going to do this look. But before we get started, I wanted to tell you some things that have changed in my life, specifically with my skincare routine that I'm using. It's going to be important because I mention it throughout the video, so I want to give you a little bit of background. So I have switched to a clinical grade skincare product that I am loving. It has high-powered hyaluronic acid, baobab oil, vitamin C ester, marine collagen, all the important things that we need as our skin ages. And I think you can really tell, especially when I get started with no makeup on, a huge difference in my skin. And I promise to do a video about that skincare pretty soon. But if you have questions, let me know. And if you're interested in how I got this makeup look, guys, okay, so I'm gonna get right into it. All I've got on my skin so far is primer. I have a little bit of irritation around my eyes, so I have really bad seasonal allergies. And I use eye drops, but these eye drops kind of break the skin out around my eye if I'm not careful. So I've done my skincare routine, all that good stuff, and I've done my primer, but I want to cover that up a little bit. And lately, because of my new skincare regimen, I feel like I don't need as much foundation because my skin just looks really good on its own. So I've really been loving this Dermalogica tinted sunscreen. It's 20 SPF. If you're having a beach day, it may not be enough for you, but just for walking around outside, going to the store, taking a 20-minute walk, you should be good to go with this. And so it's 20 SPF, sheer tint, light. So I've been really liking this for just a little bit of sunscreen, a little bit of base. I still like to use a brush because I just don't like to get it all over my hands. So I'm just gonna go ahead and kind of put it everywhere here. This is a super precise application. And then I still take a kabuki brush. You can totally use your hands if they're clean. I just don't like the feeling of it on my hands. So I'm gonna kabuki it and work it in. And this has hyaluronic acid in it, just like the skincare that I'm using, which I feel like it's a really good complement. It gives just kind of like this really sheer, hydrated look. We're getting that sun protection that's so important. It's important anyway, but it's like extra important when you're using clinical grade skincare products, because the skin cells in are turning over so much faster. You've got like baby skin, and sometimes it can make you, depending on what brand it is, a little sensitive to the sun. So make sure you get some sunscreen on. And then I like to kind of let that soak in. And now, see, it did a really good job of kind of just evening out that irritation anyway. I'm still gonna use concealer as well, but while that's sinking in, I'm gonna go ahead and do my brows. I'm gonna take this brow pencil by Unique. This is the color medium. I'm really looking forward to, once this runs out, I really wanna try the Benefit brow pencils. We'll see what happens when we get there. I have a few of these left to use. There's nothing wrong with these. I really like them actually. I'm just wanting to experiment a little bit. So I'm gonna go ahead and fill these in. If you are watching this in high def and you see my brows, give your girl some grace because I'm still in quarantine at the time of this this video. So I haven't been able to go get my brows shaped. And I have a lot of blonde fuzzies underneath. So that's what's happening with me. So if you're watching this in the future and it's not April or May of 2020, I guess it's May now, realize that we are on the struggle bus with beauty right now because of COVID. So give me some grace. So I'm just boxing out my brows here, and we're gonna make them look more natural here in just a second. But I'm just kind of mapping them out so I can do a more in-depth brow tutorial if you need it. But I'm just shaping them up. So you saw how I measured against here. My tail is pretty much where it should be, so I never measured that out. I've got my arches. Just need that front. I'm gonna go ahead and add just a little bit of color. And then what I like to do is take, woo, I dropped it, you guys. Take the spoolie side and come up. Just like that. And it's gonna soften that box a little bit. Soften those lines. It kind of helps make that hair stroke for you, if that makes sense. So just soften it up around the edges. I like to come upwards It's my jam. See how easy that was? Super easy peasy. Then I'm gonna go in with that concealer. Still Tarte Shape Tape is my jam. I like the fair neutral one. I branched out and looking for my brush. I branched out and tried a different shade, but it was a little bit too yellow on me. So coming back to this one, I have a little bit of cool undertones. I can pull neutrals, but warms kind of look too warm on me. So I like to go ahead and then I take my brush and I pick up the extra and I'm just gonna go ahead. The wand puts so much product on your face, and especially if you're doing kind of like a minimal makeup look, like a sheer tinted moisturizer or sunscreen, you're not gonna want such a heavy amount of concealer probably. It's gonna look a little iffy, but you can definitely blend it if you get too much. But now I'm gonna go around my brows and clean them up as well. So I just use this little flat synthetic brush. Just gonna clean them up, make sure the lines are real sharp, not too blurry. It just brings them a little bit more put together. And then I take it around the top too. Just like that. So if you need to do the tail, do the tail. And then I'm gonna smooth out the edges. Just like that. And then I like to take my favorite wet blending bud. This is the Bellamy blending bud. And just go ahead. Oh, I didn't put any there. I'm so used to when I do a full highlight, I'll highlight right through there. I like to use a wet one because it's gonna look more natural. You can use a dry one, but when the blending bud is wet, the way it blends it into your skin, it just makes it, to me, much more skin-like, if that makes sense. I like to take my fingers just to tap the inner corners so I don't lose too much coverage. It's hard to get in there in the inner corner of your eye too. Then I'll kind of assess and see like if that's enough coverage. Remember, you can always go back in, but you can't really, it's harder to take it away without messing up your whole face. I think I want just a touch more brightness. I'm just gonna tap just a slight bit more in here. Just like that. I'm gonna take my brush one more time. These allergies too have just got me so puffy and, you know, all the stuff. So it takes me a minute to get my concealer where I like it. I like it to look natural, but I also like the coverage, and there's like a very fine line between, girl, you got some concealer on, and girl, you look bright-eyed, so bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. All right, I think that's better. We still have that dewiness. We're still looking pretty good here. I did put some oil under my eyes today too to try to help with that irritation. Some like vitamin E oil. So when you have oil on under your eyes, sometimes you'll need a little bit more concealer because it has a tendency to spread it out. So be careful with the concealer. Just because I used a lot doesn't mean that you can use a lot, because it may be too much for you. So I'm looking for my powder. I don't see my translucent powder, which is usually what I use. So I'm gonna use, this is a unique Scarlet pressed powder. I've had it forever. I'm just gonna go in with this blending bud, get a little bit in the wet blending bud, because that wetness is gonna help it to not get too powdery, too cakey. Adds a little moisture, but we're still setting. And it's a good tip too, like if you don't have translucent powder, or you want more coverage, you can use a colored powder to set. It's gonna just add to that brightness a little bit and coverage. Can you see that? Can you see it? So I'm just patting right through here. Just sitting all of that good stuff. All right, there. Now what I'm gonna do, oh, and I just found my translucent powder. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go in, since this is a natural look, I'm just going to skip a full contour today, and I'm gonna go in with my new favorite palette. So I'm really feeling this palette. This one is by Bellamy. It's called Head in the Clouds. And what I like about it, it's been in my little like purse bag, because when I do my makeup on the go, this is like literally the one I take. What I like about it, and you can tell it's mine because it's kind of dirty. It's got 4 eyeshadows, a blush, a highlight, and a bronzer. So it's got everything you need. If you want brows, foundation, concealer, and mascara, you'll have to bring that on its own. But other than that, like, this is pretty much what you need for a full face. And sometimes you don't even need foundation. If your skin is on point and glowy and you don't have like dark circles you're trying to conceal or acne, you can get away totally with just this palette. I've done it before. So I'm gonna go in with that bronzer, and I'm just gonna warm up my face just a little bit. So I'm just taking a big fluffy brush, nothing fancy. It's not like a literal contour brush, it's just a powder brush. And I'm just kind of giving myself a little bit of a glow. Especially I tanned my body yesterday with my favorite sunless tanner. But I don't tan my face because I've got real sensitive skin. I break out real easy. So I usually just bronze it up just to make it match. I'm gonna do around my little chin area just to make us a little bit snatched. Give us a good chiseled jaw. I take it around the jaw, up toward the ear, back down. Then I take a large, it doesn't have to be larger, but clean powder puff brush, and I'm just gonna blend everything together. Always I blend it back into the hairline, blend around the nose. We just want like cohesiveness, okay? Hair, crazy. Let's do a little blush while we're here, and then we'll do eyes. We're doing it a little out of order today. I usually do eyes first. So I'm gonna take this blush. I don't know if you can see it. It's got just the littlest bit of shimmer in it, so it's really great for spring and summer. Spring and summer is when I really like to bring out just a little bit of shimmer. Get that dewy skin going on. We look barefaced or close to it, and we just look healthy. That is my goal. Sometimes I do the tip of my nose. And then I'll go in with the highlight. It's such a pretty shimmer right here. Oops, wrong finger. Sorry. That was not intentional. And I'm just gonna go ahead and glow it up a little bit. Just like that. Trying to make this a quick one for you guys. I like to do the bridge of my nose. Remember, wherever you highlight, people are gonna look at. So if you feel like you have a larger nose, don't put a lot of highlight on the tip, because that's where people are gonna look. If you've got a cute little button nose, by all means, I'm just doing a little highlight under the brow. By all means, do your nose. But just be aware, wherever you're shining, like you see your eye is drawn to that. So, there you go. Now, let's get into eyeshadow. I'm gonna take a really big brush. So we put all that concealer on our eyelids. I'm gonna make sure it's smoothed out, no lines. Then I'm gonna set that with our first color. So I'm gonna take, got hair in my face. I'm gonna take this really pretty kind of like pastel-y pink. It's a neutral, it's a good base. Just load my brush up and then set that concealer and get us a good base color to work with. Just like that. So now that concealer won't crease on us. We've got a good little base pop of color. Somewhere to work. All right, then I'm gonna take a crease brush. I'm gonna use a fluffy crease brush. And I'm gonna go in with, so these aren't named. They're called colors 1, 2, 3, and 4 on the palette. I've given them nicknames. So I'm gonna use this chocolate brown color. And I'm gonna take my crease brush and just kind of go right in the crease here. Just like that. When I do my crease, because my eyes are slightly hooded, I keep them open. That way I can see where I'm putting the color. If you do not have hooded eyelids, you can close your eyes and put it in the actual crease. But what would happen if I put it in my literal crease is when I open my eyes, it would disappear. So I like to still be able to see a little pop. This is gonna help your eyes look larger, help you not look so, if you don't like the look of one, like a kind of disappearing hooded eyelid, getting tongue-tied, you can do that. And then I'm just gonna bring it on underneath, just like that. See how easy this is? And then I do bring it down sometimes on the lid, just to bring it all together. And then I'm gonna blend. This is just like my favorite palette because it's such a simple kind of eye look. It's easy, it's fast, you've got everything ready to go. And I'll put links in the what links I can find to the products I use in the comments below. I for sure have this one. I for sure have the Dermalogica one. I have to see about the others, but I will try to find them for you guys. Isn't that pretty? It's just so natural. I love it. I'm actually going to use 3 of these colors today only because I'm going to keep it kind of natural. So I'm going to go in with this shimmery color right here and my ring finger, and I'm just going to pop it right on the inner corner. Okay, just like that. Easy peasy, very natural looking. Now I'm going to go in with some mascara. Actually, I'm going to use this lash primer from Unique first, just to kind of separate those lashes and condition them. Just a little bit of length here. Okay. Well, that's drying. I'm going to do a little bit of lip color. So I'm trying to think of what I want to do. I kept it really natural. I think I'll do my favorite nude lip right now. So I'm going to take this, this is the wrong one. I'm going to take this San Antonio lip liner. This is also from Bellamy. The reason I love this lip liner, I need to sharpen it. They are fortified with organic cold pressed coconut oil, so it's really, really good for your lips. You can tell when you put it on. It's hydrating, but it also doesn't move everywhere once it gets on. And it kind of like, I don't know, it wears really beautifully. So I'm gonna go ahead and line my lips with it. It's this really pretty brown. Girl, I didn't grab San Antonio. I grabbed, this is the red. This is Napa, I think. Oh, no, it's Tulsa. Well, we're doing a red lip because I meant to grab brown, but we grabbed red, so. The makeup god said something different in my brush, so we're doing red. I swear to you, I have like a brush hair on my nose. It's tickling me. So, I like to line my lips. Some people don't fill it in. I personally like to fill it in. See how easy it smooths out? I love it. And then if you just give it a minute, it won't move around on you. You just have to let it settle in for a second, nourish your lips. It's just creamy and beautiful, and I love it. Let's do the mascara. I'm gonna have to get off of here and dust my nose. I'm not even kidding. I feel like there's a little bitty brush hair just killing me. Let me grab my little mascara. I'm gonna use waterproof today because I did put oil on around my eyes. So oil has a tendency to pull off mascara. So if you use a waterproof, it should not transfer. So if you use a lot of eye products, get you a waterproof mascara. A lot of eye products, a lot of oil-based products, I mean. The thing about these liners is they will mingle with whatever color you want to use. So I'm not going to use a red lipstick. I'm going to use this Empower colored lipstick. It's like a plum. It's going to change the color slightly when I apply it. This is also Bellamy. I'm a huge fan. This has baobab oil in it. So also super moisturizing. I just think it's a gorgeous color. I'm looking for, I was gonna blend it out with a little brush. If I can grab my brush anywhere. I thought I had a little lip brush. We'll just use our fingers. I haven't YouTubed in so long and my stuff is like, super pretty. Is that not a pretty, like, gorgeous daytime look? I love it. I'm gonna set it with a bit of setting spray. Actually, what I'm gonna do first, before I set it with setting spray, is apply a little more sunscreen. This is a discontinued product, but I know there's another brand that makes a powder sunscreen that you can just top your makeup with. This is the color light. It's just another SPF layer. And you can go in, because you need to reapply your sunscreen if you're gonna be outside. You can go in every hour or two and top it with a powder sunscreen, which is really, really great. And it doesn't disturb your makeup. And then I'm gonna set it. It's gonna bring that dewiness back. And there we go, guys. That's the final look. So I hope you enjoyed it. I'm planning to really ramp it up back over here. I want to keep making videos for you guys. I know you all have been asking for it. This Corona thing has really just thrown me out of whack. So I missed you guys, and I hope you have a beautiful day. Leave me a comment so that I know you were here, and I can thank you for watching. And yeah, thank you guys. Be careful, be safe.